Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to the week 2 of September check-in. So you can see I have my payday budget planner here in my A6 binder, and I'm gonna just jump straight in with you guys. So as I said, we're on paycheck number 2. So last week I would have checked in paycheck number 1, and you can go and check that out on a video. And then this is paycheck number 2. So as you can see here, we have our spending tracker for the week and then our payday budget. So what I'm going to do is just run through the payday first, and just share with you, what I put into what areas and so on. It is pretty much as you imagined. It was pretty much as I imagined it to be. That doesn't mean that I didn't overspend in some areas, and you'll kind of see that going forward as well. But I'm just going to take this out, move it to the side, and then do this. So I don't share Robert's, but we did get 140 euros in our child benefit allowance. We did put 50 euros towards our main saving goal, which is a house deposit. So that's what this area here is for. Pay yourself first is your main saving goals, investments, that sort of stuff. So because the child allowance come in, we always save 50 euro of that into a savings account for our child, and then every time that we get paid, we do first put money in, and then the rest of the money is distributed out. So that did equal 100 euros. Our rent, we split up our rent over 4 paydays just to make sure that we have enough in the pot, so it's like a sinking fund. We did put 20 euros towards the utilities. We did put 100 into our food. We did put 45.50 into the fuel instead of the 50 euros. We did put 5 euro into clothing, and we did put 10 euros into medical there. So they, as you can see, were pretty much the same except for this guy here. So when we flick over to the next page, you will see, let's put that on top of that for now. We have our annual costs. So as I said, this is pay yourself first, is what your top savings or goals or investments are, paying yourself first. Then we have essentials. So the essential expenses are what is going to keep a house over your head, keep your house fed and watered, and a house over your head. So like your mortgage or rent, your lights and heating to keep that on, food for your belly, fuel for your car to get you to school or work, clothes to keep you warm, and medical, because medical is like a basic thing that everybody needs. So then we have our annual costs. So these are things that come up every single year, and you need to prepare for them, because even though we like to pretend, they still do happen. So our motor insurance, we have a car and a bike here, but we did put the 5 euro towards it. The same with the NCT and the tax for the car and the motorbike. We did put 61.11 into the Christmas sinking fund. For school, we just keep that ticking over with 2 euros. We did add 5 euro to the birthdays, and we did add 10 euros to maintenance. So that means that we did put 88.11 euros towards our annual costs. If you have any debt, this is where it works into my equation of a budget. So you would list out your debts here and how much the minimum payments are, and if there's an extra debt payment, you can use it on the last line here if you're working towards whatever debt you want to get paid off first. Then down here at the bottom, you can see the nice things. So the nice things are like your broadband or your phones. Now for some people, they will be an essential expense, but just for right now, I have them here in the nice things. So we did put 8.75 towards our broadband, and we did put 5 euros towards mine and Robert's phone. We're on plans that are 10 euros per month, and they work perfectly fine. For household, we did put the 10 euros that we had planned. Mine and Robert's personal money, we did get 23 euros. And then eating out was an overage from the week before. So we did put your 35.80 in there. So that knocked that off. And then Robert goes to the gym, and I just broke down that payment over 4 paydays, and it is 12.25 per week. So because everything is the same with these guys, we did put the 94.80 into here. Then we have overages. So overages was because in the check-in, which is down here, we had a lot of overages, but mainly for this wedding, which was Robert's brother's wedding. We didn't get enough time to save money for that, so there was overages. So we did put 90 euros off of that before I even did this budget, so that is correct. Then the glasses, so the glasses did get the 10 euros put into that. The swimming, we have a scratch and save challenge, which is over here. So basically it is like it sounds like. You have these scratch off stickers, and then underneath it will tell you how much to save. So last week's one was 11 euros. I always budget 15 euros for it, and then it was 11. So we have some weddings to go to next year, so we put 5 euro in there. Our holiday for next year, we did put 15 euros in there. The fiver challenge, which is at the back of this guy, you can see by colouring here, we did put 10 euros in as I planned. And then the 400 challenge, again, it's just one of these challenges here that equal 400. So we did put 20 euros off of that. So if you add these all together, that does equal 161 euros. So then what you would do is you'd go back up to your total income, you'd write that down, and then take away all of the totals for each of the sections, and that should equal 0 at the end. Or if you want a buffer, you can just write buffer here and how much the buffer is left, and then it should equal 0 as well. So you can see it looked like we did really good, right? It looks like, oh, that's great, yeah, good going, Karen. You didn't use you know, spend any unnecessary money. Well, unfortunately, this is just the money that we put in. When we get to actually what we spent, that's where we have a downfall. So first you'll see we had our Robert's mobile phone, 10 euro, Robert's lunch, 7.50. We had some groceries here. Myself and Ava used my personal money to go to McDonald's. Board gosh, so our gas bill came out. Motorbike for Robert's insurance, that came out. That's a yearly cost. Supplements, I bought some new supplements and Robert got a prescription again. We had some dining out, we had some groceries, more eating out. eFlow, which is like our tolls for the road, that came out. I didn't have any money in there for that, you'll see. We had bike petrol for Robert, more groceries. Then we had Gomo, which is my mobile phone, which you can see is 9.99, and this one in purple, that's really hard to see. It says Halloween, and again, that was something that was unplanned and technically should be an unbudgeted item, but I'm just going to run with negatives. So you can see here we had some negatives for the wedding, for the fuel, and for dining out last week. So if we go in and do each of these areas, so basically what you're going to do, so like if we start with myself and Robert, and this is why I color code it, so it just is a bit easier. So you can see last week we started with, or we ended with 26.47, and that's what comes in here, 26.47. And then we did add, as per the budget, 23 euros. So then you'd write 23 in the add section. And then the spend, so you'd go through, I have it color coded here, and we did spend 20 euros 30 cents. So then you just do a calculation. So you have the 26.47, add the 23 and take away the 20.30, and that leaves us with 29.17. No, that's not right, is it? So we had 26.47, adding the 23 euros. Then take away 20 euros 30 cents. Yeah, 29.17 is what we're left in there. So that's still in the positive. That's a good one. Next one out, we have groceries. So grocery, you can see last week we ended with 5, but I took that out to use for one of my challenges, so that actually started with a 0. And then we added the €100 as per the budget. And if we add up all of these yellow ones here, we'll have €116.82. So that means that we're over by €16.82. So again, if I get my highlighter and just mark that. Then we have the next one here. So these are pretty much like bills. So I'm not including these in the spending, in my spending tracker here, in my spending check-in. The next one is medical. So medical ended with €90 last week. We added €10. We used, if we add the both of these together, we used $33.44. And because I save my medical by cash, I'm just going to round it. So it ends up being like €66, but I'm just going to say that it's €65. And that's just so I can have that as a cash, you know. So next up we have this pink one, which is dining out. So, or eating out, or however you want to call it. So you can see dining out started with a negative of $35.80. That's what we put into it last week. We did add 35, why can't I do a 5? 80. We spent, you can see these two here together, which is $47.60, which means that we're now in the negative of $47.60 for the week coming. Then we have green, which is fuel. And I just call it fuel because our car is diesel and the motorbike is petrol, so I just say fuel. So you can see here, fuel started with $15.50 of a negative. We added $45.50. Robert then spent another $15.50 this week on his petrol, leaving us with $14.50. Then we have Halloween, so miscellaneous. Miscellaneous didn't have anything in it, but we did put €10 into it last week. So miscellaneous / household is what I have it saved as for me. So we did put €10 in it, but then we did spend up $31.25, which means we're now $21.25 over. So the dining out is over, this is over. And then if we look at last week's, there was obviously the wedding, so I just want to put that down because you know, I don't want it to get lost in translation on it. We didn't add anything, we didn't spend anything, which means we're still at a negative $88.46. But that will be worked off. I have some money going towards it this week, and then some money next week. And then another thing that I wasn't going to put, but then I decided I actually will, is this tolls. So because I didn't have anything planned for it, I didn't add anything for it, because I forgot that we used the tolls, $10.80. Although I feel like we didn't use it that many times. I'm going to have to look up that account. Anyway, so now we're at minus $10.80 in there. But again, that is something that's going to get worked off this week, should I say. So I'm not going to include the bills. I'm just going to add up what we spent this week. So we have €20.30 for myself and Robert, $116.82 for groceries, $33.44 for medical, $47.60 for dining out, $15.50 for Robert's petrol, $31.25 for that Halloween event that we're going to, and this shouldn't be a minus at this stage, should it? Yeah. And then $10.80 for. So that leaves us with spent this week as $275.71, which is not as bad as last week. but still a lot. And you can see now we're left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas of overspending. So just to go on this, last week in this, I worked on my new challenge. So if I have any money left over, what I'm going to do first of all is my newest one, which is a night out. If I have €6 in spending, it's the roll to save. Okay, so it comes with a little dice and a cover, what's this called, a pouch. So a little dice and a pouch, and then you roll it, and whenever you land on, that's what you have to save. But I don't have enough money for that this week. As you can see, I literally have 56 cents. So because I have 56 cents, I'm going to go to my spare change challenge. So this is 1 cent all the way through to 365. So it was like a penny a day sort of challenge. So last week with you, I marked off, I think it was like 322, and then in my cash stuffing video, I managed to do a little bit more. So as I said, I have 56 cents here. I'm going to get a marker and I'm going to mark off 56. Like that. And then we're going to get the tin that I save it in. And that's that. So there we have it, guys. That is this week's weekly check-in. It's not great. It's not great news. We have more overspending, more areas that we owe ourselves money on. People probably don't agree with the way that I do this, but I just kind of like to see it this way and just be like, instead of having it as unbudgeted, just being real with myself and saying, no, you're overspending on all of the areas, Karen. You need to calm down here. So hopefully this will have worked itself out by the end of the month. Now that I'm tracking again, it's really there in the forefront of my mind that we shouldn't be doing this. This is not how you should be budgeting with these overages. We should be budgeting like this, with tracking our spending and then doing a recap and all that sort of stuff and laying it out each week what it is. But we shouldn't be having these overspends here. So hopefully in the next few weeks that will work itself out. But that is enough for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Oops. Bye.